Welcome student. In this class I will discuss ocean water salinity. Oceanic water is referred to as saline water. It is because it contains large proportion of salinity, salt, different type of salt remain present in the oceanic water, right, which is the main cause of salinity of the oceanic water. Getting well? Detemer was the important oceanographer who conducted Challenger expedition and identified the existence of 47 type of salt in the oceanic water. Getting well? Right? Actually, on the basis of the analysis conducted by Detemer during Challenger expedition, 47 type of salt were identified in the oceanic water, but 70% of the total salt content of the oceanic water is due to NaCl. That's why NaCl is considered as the main cause of oceanic salinity. Getting well now? Right? And oceanic salinity is defined as the weight of salt in gram present in 1000 gram of oceanic water and is expressed through this sign. It is clear now? This is not actually percentile, but I will use the term percentile. It is expressed in terms of percentile. Getting well now? So actually you see the highest salinity of oceanic water so far recorded is in Lake Van of Turkey, right? Its salinity is 330 percentile. This is highest salinity on the Earth's surface. It is clear now? Salinity differs from one ocean to another ocean, right? Actually salinity of closed sea is more as compared to that of the ocean sea, right? It means particularly it depends on the coastal location of the ocean, right? Again you see salinity of the equatorial zone, lower latitudinal zone will be relatively high as compared to that of higher latitudinal zone, right? So as far as the question of salinity is concerned, salinity is defined as the amount of salt in gram present in 1000 gram of oceanic water, right? And the amount of salt can be measured through titration process, okay, right? The volume and proportion or weight can be determined through this process, okay. As far as the question of oceanic salinity is concerned, so oceanic salinity differ from one place to another. I said that highest salinity is recorded in Lake Van in Turkey. The salinity of Mediterranean Sea, right, is 40 percentile, 40 percentile. Salinity of Black Sea is 18 percentile. Salinity of northern part of Caspian Sea is 14 percentile, 14, okay. Whereas salinity of southern part of Caspian Sea is 170 percentile, okay. Markable difference between the, okay. It is clear now? Salinity of Gulf of Mexico is 36 to 37 percentile, whereas salinity of Gulf of California is around 34 percentile. It is clear now? So salinity differ from one place to other. It is clear now? So because salinity is affected by different factors, right? Now the question is why there are three types of water. One is fresh water, second is saline water, and third is brackish water, okay. So actually in fresh water salt content is very low. In saline water there is a high content of the salt, and in brackish water will contain moderate amount of salt. It is clear now, right? Moderate amount of salt. Getting well now? So as far as the question of oceanic salinity is concerned, so previously rivers were considered as the main source of oceanic salinity. According to geographer, the rivers drain this water along with the coastal part, carrying adequate volume of salt, and this salt get deposited in the ocean and hence is the cause of oceanic salinity. It is clear now? But when analysis of the of the nature of salt content of the oceanic area, right, oceanic area, and salt content of the river was studied, it was noticed that main cause of oceanic salinity is the presence of NaCl, okay. But the main cause of river water salinity, whatever salt content is present in the river, calcium salt constitutes the largest proportion, around 68% of the total salt content of the river water, and amount of NaCl is only 2%, to be noted. It is clear now? So it means main cause of river ocean water salinity is NaCl, sodium salt, whereas main cause of river water salinity is the calcium salt. Okay, right? On this ground, you can say that river cannot be the source of oceanic salinity, though certain oceanographers suggest that, gives the argument that when river drains water, right, carrying adequate amount of calcium salt along with it, right, most of the corals consume the calcium salt. That's why there is the dominance of the NaCl in the ocean. Okay, so river may be considered as the main cause. Other sources of oceanic water salinity is the plant and animal kingdom existing in the ocean. When they die, their body also contains salt. Na? So this salt get dissolved after their death. Na? Again, you see, actually some amount of salt remain present in the rock constituted the oceanic bed. They also gradually get dissolved in the oceanic water, right? If ocean bottom volcanic eruption occur, so also you see, right, along with the other earth material, some salt also come outside, na, and get mixed with the oceanic water, and these are collectively constitute the sources of ocean water salinity. That is clear, na? What are the cause of ocean water salinity? Is clear, na? Now see, as far as the question of salinity is concerned, ocean water salinity is affected by several factors. There are several factors affecting ocean water salinity. First is temperature. Okay, actually, if temperature will increase, then evaporation occur, right? Consequently, you see, suppose probably this is oceanic water. Actually, here 100 liter of water is present, 1000 gram of oceanic or liter of oceanic water is present, and it is containing 35 percentile of the salt content. It is clear, na? But when temperature will increase, then evaporation will occur, right? And actually, suppose if 500 liter of the water will get evaporated, right? Then in the remaining part, only 500 liter will be present after evaporation. Na? So this will contain 35 percentile of the salinity. It means temperature, that is evaporization, increases salinity. It is clear, na? Right? Temperature, that is evaporization, increases salinity. On the other hand, if this is the oceanic area where 1000 unit of water is present and it contains 34 or 35 gram of oceanic water, it is salt content, na? So rainfall, through rainfall, fresh water will get added, okay, and hence it will reduce the salinity. So you see, on one hand, evaporization increases salinity, on another hand, the rainfall decreases salinity. So there may be three conditions you see. If first condition is, if evaporization is, rate of evaporization is more than precipitation, right, then salinity increases. There is increase in the salinity of the oceanic water. Second condition, if evaporization is equal to precipitation, then salinity will remain constant. Okay. Third condition is, if evaporization is less than precipitation, then salinity will decrease. Okay. It is clear, na? It means salinity depends on evaporization as well as precipitation. It is clear, na? Certainly in high rainfall zone, salinity will be low, right? But the area where rainfall will not occur, certainly the area will have high salinity, na? Getting well, na? So this is one factor. Again, you see, oceanic current, nature of oceanic current also influences the salinity, na? As warm oceanic current increases salinity, okay, and cold oceanic current decreases salinity. Getting well, na? Warm oceanic current increases salinity, and cold oceanic current decreases salinity. You see, one component of Gulf Stream entered in North Sea in the form of North Atlantic Drift. Since it is warm, it increases the salinity of the North Sea, right? That's why North Sea remains navigable throughout the year. Okay. So actually, it means it is due to the impact of the warm oceanic current, right? On the other hand, where cold oceanic current will remain, it will lower down the salinity na, and hence freezing point will also drop. Getting well na? It is clear na? So this is the impact. Okay. So one factor is the temperature, second is precipitation, third factor we study which is the nature of the oceanic current. Okay. Fourth factor is the impact of the prevailing wind. Okay. How the prevailing wind causes impact, you see. Suppose, right, this is oceanic water and wind is blowing in this way, then it will cause the oceanic water to move in this direction. Here particularly piling will occur, and along this side upwelling will occur na, along A side, and this is B side na. So along A side where piling will occur, the water will again and again collide with the coastal part, will have friction with the coastal part, temperature will increase, evaporization will occur. It is clear na? Hence salinity will be high here, right? So along piling side, high salinity is recorded, and along upwelling side, low salinity is recorded. Getting well na? Actually, I am drawing the figure, to see it more appropriately. You see, suppose this is equator, this is one continental part, this is another continental part, and this is, you know, that trade wind belt. So trade wind belt, when a trade wind blow in this direction, so trade wind causes piling along western part of the ocean. Here piling occur, and here upwelling occur. It is clear na? Right? Here piling occur, and here upwelling occur na? So in trade wind zone, high salinity is found in western part of the ocean, and low salinity is found in eastern side of the ocean na? On the other hand, in the zone of westerly wind, right, the pattern get reversed na, because this is the direction of the westerly wind. So it will cause piling along eastern side and upwelling along western side na, piling along eastern side and upwelling along western side na. So that's why in westerly wind zone, high salinity is found in the eastern part of the ocean. It is clear na? So piling also influences the salinity content of the oceanic water. It is clear na? Right? So what are the factor and the nature of the coastal area, as I have made it clear, that closed type of, if salinity of closed sea is more than partially closed, and salinity of partially closed is more than the open sea. It is clear na? When the salinity of open sea is minimum. Getting well? Now very noticeable point is influx of fresh water, right? Fresh water, yeah, influx of river water also reduce salinity. It is clear na? Also reduce salinity. You see it in very clear cut term that three water body. This is Africa, this is Mediterranean Sea, this is Black Sea, and this is Caspian Sea. Getting well now? Right? It is clear? So this is Mediterranean Sea. Its salinity is 40 percentile. Okay? The salinity of Black Sea is 18 percentile. Right? And salinity of northern part of Caspian Sea, this is Caspian Sea now, is 14 percentile, whereas salinity of southern part is 170 percentile. Okay, you see Mediterranean Sea, Black Sea and Caspian Sea are located along the almost at the same latitude. Okay, you know that there is a latitude-wise distribution of solar radiation. So that's why amount of evaporation is expected to be the same na. So in this case, one can expect the same amount of salinity in all the three particularly water body na, but it largely differ because you see the salinity of Mediterranean Sea is 40 percentile, salinity of Black Sea is 18 percentile, 18, okay, whereas salinity of northern part of Caspian Sea is 14 percentile, whereas the salinity of southern part is 170 percentile. You see, salinity of Black Sea is less as compared to that of Mediterranean Sea because several important rivers like Danube, Don, Dnieper and Dniester drain adequate volume of water in the Black Sea. It is clear na? Several important rivers drain this water in the Black Sea. These rivers are Don, Dnieper, Dniester, Danube, etc. It is clear na? So since river water is the example of fresh water, so that's why they markedly reduce the salinity of the Mediterranean Sea, the Black Sea, as compared to that of Mediterranean Sea. It is clear now, right? What is the factor? You get it well, right? Fresh water addition, and again you see in the northern part of Caspian Sea there is a addition of fresh water through Volga and Ural River. Volga and Ural River drain adequate volume of fresh water in the northern part of Caspian Sea. Consequently, right, the salinity of northern part of Caspian Sea reduced to only 14 percentile, but in southern part there is no such addition. Na? So that's why salinity remain very high and it is of the order of 170 percentile. Getting well now? Again you see, next factor is the melt water. Melt water means melting of the glacier. Na? Right, melt water or the area where melting of glacier occur, right, releases fresh water, and if it is added in the ocean, the salinity, ocean water salinity will get reduced. It is clear now? So what are the factors responsible for salinity? It is clear now? What is the cause of salinity you see, and how salinity influences the physical character like freezing and boiling? It is clear now? Because salinity is the impurity, and according to the law of physics, if you will add impurity in the water, it will elevate the boiling point and reduce the freezing point. It is clear now? So if the water will contain salt, then it will not freeze at 0 degrees Celsius. It will require more lower temperature, -10, -20 is required. Getting well now? So it is due to this factor. Okay. Now see, as far as the question of distribution of salinity, so 4 major belts have been identified, on the Earth's surface, right, having different salinity, right. First is the first belt is referred to as the first belt is an equatorial belt of low salinity. मतलब first belt is 0 to 10 degree north and south. This is referred to as equatorial belt of relatively low salinity. Getting well now? Term relatively low salinity. It is clear now? Second zone is between 25 to 35 degree north and south. Right, this is subtropical zone of highest salinity. Okay, highest salinity is found between 25 to 35 degree latitude, but at the same time you should keep in mind one important point. If option will be 25 to 35 degree north, or 25 to 35 degrees south, then north will be the appropriate answer. Okay, but actually single latitudinal value will be around 16 degree north latitude salinity is highest. It is clear na? Right. So actually format of the question prelims can be different type na. It is clear na? Right. If broadly the latitude is given, then particularly 25 to 35 degree. If the north south is given, then you should answer north na. And one latitude is 60 degree north, which record the highest salinity. Getting well now? Now see, third zone is between 60 to 65 degree north and south. This is referred to as subpolar zone of low salinity. Okay, right, this is relatively low and this is low, to be noted. Okay, because you see this is the zone where melting of the snow occurs and fresh water is added, that's why relatively is low. Okay, and fourth one is polar zone of minimum salinity. Getting well now? So we have 4 salinity zone on the Earth's surface. First is equatorial zone of relatively low salinity. Why relatively low? You see, actually what happened in equatorial zone, right, though it is the hottest zone, evaporation occur, but every day there occur adequate rainfall. So that's why salinity becomes relatively low now due to addition of the convectional water, rain through convectional water, water through convectional rainfall. It is clear na? So that's why in equatorial zone you will find low salinity is found here, and just below this there is a high salinity zone, and then after salinity continuously reduces. This is the vertical distribution of salinity in the equatorial zone. It is clear na? In upper level, low saline water is found. Just below it, salinity is high, and then after salinity continuously decreases na, up to the bottom. Okay. In middle latitude zone, you see, right, low salinity is found at the surface. Salinity continuously increases up to 200 meter. Then after it decreases. It is clear that this is the trend na? And in polar zone, salinity continuously increases in downward direction. There is a positive trend, vertical distribution. It is clear na? But this is not so much relevant, but this is relevant. Okay? Actually, first is, there are 4 salinity zone. This is zonal distribution of salinity in the ocean. First is equatorial low pressure belt, equatorial belt of relatively low salinity. Okay? Second, why relatively low? Because though evaporation occur, but it is neutralized by the convectional precipitation there. Second is subtropical zone of highest salinity. Third is subpolar zone of highest, because you see 20 to 25 degree latitude is subtropical high pressure belt na. Here there occurs subsidence of it is dynamically induced low pressure belt na. Because of the subsidence of air, anticyclonic condition prevail na, and anticyclonic condition not permit the rainfall to occur. That's why rainfall in this zone is low. But since it is located near the line of tropics, that is Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, which are the boundary line of the line of tropics, right? So that's why high temperature prevail, evaporation occur, but no matching precipitation occur na. So that's why evaporation is more than precipitation. Consequently, salinity increased here, and this is the zone of maximum salinity, right? And subpolar zone existing between 60 to 65 is the zone of low salinity, and minimum salinity is recorded in the polar zone, right? You know that in polar zone angle of insolation is 0, right? All very low, less than 30 degree, right? That's why no effective vaporization occur na. Okay. So actually that's why the lowest salinity is recorded in this polar region. Okay, best of luck. I think that it will be sufficient to answer in prelims question. Okay, prelims. Best of luck.